questions on the topic that we discussed so far? I just want to do a quick recap of the things from the time we started working on Apex. So the first thing is we discovered where we write code. Basically, we hold a control, click developer console, and when within the developer console we have this debug, and then we have open execute anonymous window. So we write the code here for now. Usually we this is the place where we can write some code and execute it. And then we started looking at, what some of the things that we use in Apex. Apex is the proprietary language of Salesforce. It needs force.com platform, say in a Salesforce org to run, unlike Java or .NET where it can run on any tools that have it, but it cannot run independently on like cell phones or computers that have it has to run on a Salesforce org. It has to run on a force.com platform. It's not case sensitive. Small a and capital A are treated the same in Apex, whereas in Java they are case sensitive. The variables, capital A and small a differ, but in Apex it's not like that. You can just write anything. But because of the Lightning world, and Lightning is more JavaScript oriented, I still want you guys to pay attention to the naming convention and everything, and follow the case sensitivity, because in JavaScript it's there. Now that we are people are doing development more in Lightning way, it is better to have what you call keep that case sensitivity, especially when you're writing queries or when you're returning some variables. It's better to have that. And then we spoke about data types like string, integer, decimal, date, time, boolean, like what are the data types, why we need to declare some data type and variable. It's because it's strongly typed language. Apex is a strongly typed language. So when you declare a variable, you need to mention what data type it is. Otherwise, there's no Salesforce. Syntactically, it won't agree. Whereas in a loosely typed language like JavaScript, you can just declare a variable, and depending on the value that I assign to the variable, it automatically assumes the data type. Whereas in Apex language, because it's strongly typed, you need to declare the variable and specify the data type, like what data type it is. So that's there. And then we discussed about collections. That's the most important thing. We have list, set, and map. List is an ordered collection. When I say ordered collection, list retains the order in which the elements are added to that collection. And it can contain duplicate values. Of course, a list can contain duplicate values. So there can be same value added twice, and both will have different index number. And list supports something called indexing, which is the position, I would say. So you can just say list.get0, list.get1, which would give you the first, the first element, second element, 0th position or first position, So list supports that. And list also supports methods like list.size, list.clear, list.clone, list.isEmpty. There are these methods that the list would support. Set is an unordered collection. When we say unordered, because I think we have seen an example where if you add things to a list, it maintains the order. But if you add things to a set, we cannot guarantee that they are maintained in the order that they got added. So set is an unordered collection, and it cannot contain duplicate values. You can add as many duplicate values as you want, but set will always remove the duplicate value. It will only retain one copy of it. So, and set contain a good, I love this method from set so much. It contains a method called contain. So if you have a set, you can check whether that set contains certain element or not. So set supports a method called contains, and the common methods like set.clone, set.clear, set.size, these things are very common. Then we have something called map. Map is a collection type where it is used to maintain key value pairs. The key can be one data type and the value pair can be another data type, or both can be same data type. The first element, the left side, the first one is the key, and the associated value would be the value pair. So in list and set, we use list.add keyword, whereas in map, we use that map.put keyword, put, and then we assign a key value pair. The key cannot be duplicate. Even if you add the duplicate, key, I mean, whatever the latest value that is associated with it, it would take that. So you can consider that a key set, like map.keyset, is a set collection type. Map.values is a list collection type. If you notice that, you will notice, map is a collection of a list and a set. I mean, the key set is a unique values, and the values is nothing but a list of values. So that's not. And then you see, in map, you can just use map.get, like map.get, and pass the key value. And when you give the key value, it would automatically return you the value associated to it. So maps are like very, very like highly useful in Salesforce world. Okay. And then we started working on something called SOQL queries. Like, I mean, I know we just saw some examples like how to write a query on a contact, how to write a query and account, and how to write a where clause. It's like reading a statement. If you say select ID, last name, first name, account.name, from contact. So this query, if you see here, it is saying we need last name, first name, and the parent account's name and the parent account's ID from contact object. Okay. So this is how we write the queries. Again, we have a tool called Workbench. So you can use a tool called Workbench as well. You can log into Workbench. If writing a query, I use Workbench a lot. So I just go to query. You can pick the object, whatever you want. Let's say you want to write it on contact object. You can just look for contact object. You can just pick the fields and then filter result by, email equals something. And, the moment you type in, the query automatically is constructed for us. Order by, you can click bulk CSV to download the values. Like you can say list and run it, or you can just do bulk CSV and click query. It would download the file. You see, it comes with this blue icon. Okay. And when you click, it just downloads the result automatically. Okay, so if you go to SOQL query, you can write it. I use this every day. Even today, probably I've done like 10 queries for some data analysis. So you can query it like this. If you choose the option as the list and query, it just queries the data and shows you here. If you choose this bulk CSV and click query, it comes like this. You can click this blue icon. Remember this blue icon. You can click this blue icon and still download the result. Okay, the result downloaded. You can see that that result too. The same result will be in downloader. I never use matrix or bulk XML for. I don't know who uses those, but I've never used this. I only use list and bulk CSV so far. Again, see, until you get used to it, you can use this Workbench to be able to build your own queries. But once you are used to it, you will automatically start typing the queries. Okay, so this is about SOQL. I asked you guys to practice a little bit about SOQL, like writing queries on custom object, child object, and parent object, and navigate from child object to parent object. Any question? Anybody, any questions so far on all the topics that we discussed with respect to Apex programming?
Shravan?
Yes.
In maps, we can use like ID and list of accounts also, right?
Yes, ID and list of accounts, yes.
Can you please show me how to add, like how to put accounts and how to get those things?
You can just do ID and list of accounts, right?
Yeah.
I'll do a ID and list of contacts. Because ID and list of accounts, which ID I don't know. So you can just do map ID list contact. So here, the key value is ID, or it can be string as well. It doesn't matter. It can be ID or string. The key value is string. So what I'm saying is the account ID and the list of contacts associated. That's the goal that I want to. So I'll just say I want to write this. Okay, I'll show you the code too. First, I just want to debug this. You see this?
Yeah.
So what I did is I'll first run this query in Workbench and show you what I have done. Okay. This was my next topic. I just wanted to show you. So first of all, I won't write this query. I just want to show something to everybody. So you just say select ID, name, account dot name, account dot type from contact. Okay. So what you're trying, we are writing a query. Oh shit. Okay. Make sure this is good. I'm glad this error came up because this is my home desktop. It's not updated with my preferences basically. So you see, I mean, I'm gonna store this. You go to Workbench, go to settings. If you are using Workbench, make sure you go there, go to settings, and you see allow SOQL parent relationship queries. Just check this checkbox. Make sure to check this checkbox and apply the setting. Okay. So check this checkbox because we usually do the. Now I'm gonna query. You see. So this is the contact record. I'm querying from contact. Okay. This is the contact record, name of the contact, the name of the account, and see what I'm trying to, from contact, I'm traveling to account, just like in validation rules, we spoke about it, right? We can travel from child to parent, okay? From contact, I'm traveling to account, and, I'm able to get the information from account, what you call account, okay? Let's do the same thing for employee salary. Okay, so we have, these are all the objects that we have. Okay, let's say employee salary. Let's say I'm writing a query on employee salary. So this is just, I'm writing query on employee salary. Okay, this is the child object. Now, I want to, on the employee salary, I'm writing the query on employee salary, but I also want to get some details of employee name and stuff like that. Okay, so what I can do is, select employee _r dot name. Okay, so if I just hit query, you see I'm getting employee. This is the employee, or maybe let's see. Let me see what fields we have in employee object. and I want employee double underscore dot email as well. Okay, so here email double underscore, sorry, email double underscore. So I'm writing a query on child object. Okay, just look at this. I'm writing a query on child object, but I'm able to travel to the parent and still be able to get the values from the parent object here. Whereas here, the other way around, like I want to write a query on the parent object and be able to get the values from child. Okay, I can write this. Let's just say I write this. You see, one account has multiple contacts. This is the account, it has multiple contacts. This account has multiple contacts. You see, it's traveling downwards, right? From parent. I'm writing the query on parent, but I'm also trying to retrieve the contacts associated with it. This is one account and the associated contacts. This is an account and associated contacts. So I'm writing the query and account, but this is called writing a subquery. Okay, so I'm writing a subquery to be able to travel from parent onto the child. So I'm using a subquery to be able to travel from parent object, like from account. See here, this is important. The from which object, like I'm writing a query on account, but I'm also able to get the contact information. A contact is a child of account. So by writing a subquery like this, okay, by writing a subquery like this, I'm able to retrieve this. So I have an account and the associated contacts. This table, I like Workbench because of this representation. You see, it clearly says this is the account and these are all the associated contacts. Now you ask me to represent this in form of code. So how do we represent in the form of code? See, map of string and list contacts. So I just queried account ID and the associated contacts, and I just did, the put acc.id, which is nothing but the account ID, and acc.contacts, okay, which is nothing but the all the list of contacts that are associated with this. And hence when I print this, you see ID and you see all the contacts associated with it, like it has so many contacts associated with it. Okay, and there is this ID, account ID, and the contacts associated with it. So that's how this map is. Does it make sense, Niranjan?
Yes, sir.
Is this what you're looking for or something else?
I mean, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure you might have had a different example, but ultimately the answer would be yes. We can do a nested list, a nested map. We can do all those things. But again, it really depends on the scenario that you want. But usually we use nested maps and nested things, but it's not that often that we would use those.
It's not necessary that we should have the relationship, right?
Yes. If we don't have the relationship, then again, it's a different story. Like we need to prepare our own list, and then, we need to prepare our own, condition on which links, which ties to what.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, the thing everybody has to learn here is there are SOQL, upward SOQL queries and downward SOQL queries. Upward SOQL queries are nothing but when you're writing a query on a child object, you can use the dot notation to go to the parent object and still be able to get those values. And this is a good example of downward SOQL query. Okay. So where did I get this contacts from? Like select ID name from, usually we write it from contact, right? So this relationship field, okay, I'm going to show you on the object level. Let me go to contact object. Okay, I'm going to go to fields. I'll go to account. You see, child relationship name is contacts. So every lookup relation, okay, I'll show you in other object. So let's say you go to session speaker, okay, and then you have a master detail to session. If you go here, it has child relation, okay. The child relation name is session underscore speaker. So you use, because it's a custom object, you use double underscore R notation here, okay, for downward queries. For writing subqueries like this, or for writing subqueries like this, you use that, you know, like let's say you want to, let's go to session. See, I'm writing this query, so in case you're watching the recording next, I know right now it might not make sense, but I want you to practice the upward query and downward query. When you're writing it, I want you to come back here and look at which field I'm exactly going, which relationship name I'm exactly going. I know it might not make sense now, but when you're actually putting into practice, if you already have a child object and a parent object, and if you're trying to write a downward query from the parent object, if you're trying to get these things will be useful at that point. Okay, that's why even though it might not make more sense now, I'm telling you this so that while you're practicing, you can always come back here. Okay, so let me write something on session object. Okay, so I'll just say. So, you know, you might get a question, hey, who are all the session speakers for this session? So you can just query it like this. Okay. Now, before that, I'm going to just say, from usually in a query, what we'll do in a subquery, usually because we want to write a query on session speaker, it would be select ID name from session speaker. But no, what we are doing is we are trying to come to the relationship name and adding a double underscore R. In case of contacts, we didn't add double underscore R because it's a standard object. Okay. You see, I mean, it didn't give much. The reason being we didn't have too many examples. But if you see, look at this example. This is a session, and these are the two associated session speakers. Okay, the session speaker double underscore R contains two records. So there is a session. I mean, most of them did not have session speakers, so we didn't have any. But if you take this example for the example number 41, so this represents the session record, and these two represents the session speakers related to that. If you want, we can add additional columns to that as well. Okay, so this is downward query. Okay, this is a downward query. We are querying the session object, but in the query we are able to access the values of the child records, the session speakers as well. Now, where did we get this session speakers double underscore R? On the relationship field. Okay, you see there is a child relationship name. This child relationship name is helpful when you want to query the data of child object from parent. Okay, the other way around, I want to write a query on session speaker object, but still be able to do that. Okay, so let me do that. Select ID, name, session double underscore R dot level double underscore C session double underscore R dot let's see what they have. Postal code. Let me go to session speaker object. Oh shit, it's session speaker JO. I spelled the object name wrong. You see, now here what we are doing, I'm querying the session speaker JO, which is the child object, and from here I'm trying to get the values of session, what level of session it is, so this is an example of upward query. So again, I just want to give you a simple example. I want you to remember one example, and in any scenario that you get, like I don't want you guys to remember thousands of examples. I just want you to remember one example, and I want you to apply that everywhere. From contact, see, account and contact. One account can have multiple contacts. So account is the parent and contact is the child. So if you are writing a query on contact, but still want to access the field values from account, that's upward query. You use account.id, account.name, account.something to be able to access the values from parent. Whereas if you are writing a query on account, which is the parent object, but still want to access the contacts associated with it, then you will write a downward query. Okay? So that's the difference. And for you, upward query, it is straightforward. You just use _R notation of the relationship field to be able to travel to the parent object and get the value. Whereas for downward query, you need to go to the relationship and get the relationship name. Okay, in case of custom object, for the relationship name, you will add a _R. Within that subquery, you add a _R. Whereas for on the upward query, there is no need for that. And if it is standard object, if the relationship is with the standard object, you will just try this. Just try this word. If it doesn't work, just add _R. Why do we have to remember anything? Just, go to the child relationship name, paste it and query it. If you get the result, it's great. If you don't get the result, just add a _ and see what happens. Okay? So that's upward query and downward query. Any questions? Guys, anybody? Okay. Now, let me, you know what? I will not show the syntax, but can you guys try, again, I have the patience to stay. I want you guys to write a straightforward, nothing, no relationship, nothing, a simple query on contact. I want a query on contact, just paste it in the chatter. I want a query on contact, query the first name field, last name field, where title is CEO. I want to query all the contacts. I want to know, let's say this is the requirement. I want to know the first name, last name, and email of all the contacts whose title is CEO. How would you write the query? I'm going to send you the requirement. First name and last name of all the contacts whose title is CEO. Okay, can you paste the query please in the chat window? Uh, Niranjan, select ID, first name, comma, last name from contact where title is equal to CEO. Good. Yeah, Niranjan, this is good. I know for the people who have some practice, these are simple things, but I just wanted everybody to get that syntax correctly. And if you're not getting it, if you're struggling it, I want that struggle to happen now, so that you will learn at least one or two things. At least you would learn to play in Workbench. Select first name, last name. So Divya, there is an issue with that. Do you see that? The API name of first name, right? There will not be a gap space. I know in my requirement I gave an example, give me first name and last name, but if you take on contact object, like let me go to contact object. See, I want you to write the right way. So if you go to contact object and you see I know it only says name, but let me go here in Workbench. It doesn't show there. Not contact. I want to go to contact. Okay, see, this is the Workbench. And if you look at the fields here, see the API name of first name, no space here. Okay, API name of last name. So you notice that any API name will not have a space at all. Okay, if there is a space, it would be like an underscore. It would be replaced with an underscore. So there are no spaces in API names. So select last name and first name from contacts. You see, this is the thing. What is the object name? The object name is contact. So it would be select last name, comma, first name from contact, the API name of the object. Okay? So
okay, I got it.
Yeah. So that's why, just open workbench.developerforce.com, play around with it, go to contact object, just play around with the queries and see what result you are getting, Asha, first name, comma, last name from contacts, no, it's the API name is just contact. You see this? The API name is contact. For custom objects, it would have a double underscore C because contact is a standard object. So after this from, see, contact, the word plural word comes in picture only when we are writing a subquery. But here you see, I'm just issuing a simple query on the contact object. So select last name from contact. So Asha, I think you need to note that point. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be contact.
Yeah, sure.
Karthik, select first name, last name. Come on. Did I confuse you guys by saying or are you guys taking it from the statement that I gave you? First name and last name of all the contacts. Like I'm just worried that everybody's making the same mistake of from context. Are you guys not looking at the API name of the object? Like when I mean, hey, if a business analyst is talking to you, right, what would they say? Hey, give me all the contacts. Like, can you get me the details of all the contacts where the title is CEO? That's what they will say, right? They won't say, hey, the API name of the object is contact, so I will use the word contact. So that's why my requirement is that I'm just worried. Are you guys not running the query when you're pasting it here? Or like my expectation is when I ask this question, my expectation is you already have your Salesforce org open in your browser and you have your either dev console or workbench already open. You're running your query there and then pasting it to me. That's my expectation. If you're doing anything other than that, you're doing it wrong. I'm sure all these queries, whoever used from contacts, if you have run that query in dev console or in Workbench, it would have ran and it would have given an error. Okay. Deepti. Select first name Deepti. You see this first name and last name? Okay, I'm gonna just pick on you. I'm gonna run the exact query that you wrote here. Okay, so this is the query that you have. You see, it's saying I don't know what this last name is. I don't know what this first name is. So there is no space here, and there is no space here, and then there is one more mistake. You see, contact comma. There is no comma after contact. Okay, so it's like this. This is the right query. So that's why play around with in Workbench. Just play around. Okay. Karthik from contact. Okay, good. First name, comma, last name from contact. Good. Okay. Did I miss anybody? Okay. So if you are most of you wrote it as like this, and when I query it, it would say I don't know what contacts is. S-object contacts is not supported because the object name is not there. It wouldn't understand it. Okay. Now let me give you. I want this to be quick. Okay. Okay. Give me the name of. I want ID, annual revenue, and name. Okay. Give me the ID, name, and annual revenue of all accounts which are active. When I say active, it means active _C is equal to yes. So the field active, you see this field active, it should contain the value yes. So all the accounts which have active _C as yes. I don't know, is this let me just see the object. Is it a Boolean field or a pick list field? Active, oh, it's a pick list field. Good, yeah. Wherever, yeah, active, this is the field. So wherever, give me all the accounts. And when I say give me all the accounts, I wanted ID, name, annual revenue of all accounts where, which have this active _C. Yes. You know what? Let me add one more thing. I want active as yes, and also industry is agriculture. Also industry is agriculture. Sorry guys, I want this. So, write it, go to the account, look at the API names. See, this is the importance of API name. When we are creating an object, Salesforce make sure we have an API name, right? Because when we are writing a query or a code, it's always API name. So let's get that. So I need the ID, name, and annual revenue of all accounts which are active, and industry is agriculture. man. Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Niranjan. I was speaking on mute. So I saw your query. Everything is good. It's just that the yes, right? Active is equal to yes. You wrote everything in capital. Just make sure it's, it's the way it is defined. In the pick list, we used Y as capital, E as small. Make sure that even your agriculture, the word agriculture was also different. Just make sure it's spelled the right way. Okay? Select annual revenue ID name from account where active double underscore C. Yes, and industries is equal to agriculture. Good. Good. I like that you guys are putting the single quote around the text. I just wanted to see that. That's good, Karthik. Anybody else? Guys, anybody else on this query? Are you guys struggling with any piece or anything here? I know this is more time taking. It takes most of the time for the class, but my goal is at least you're spending this tiny bit amount of time in thinking to write a query. I can't trust you guys to write those or practice those after the class. That's why I'm trying to do this, even though it's taking more time. I'm looking at yours. Select annual revenue ID name. You know what? I'm going to pick on you again. I'm sorry. Okay, this is the query that you have. I'm going to paste it. First of all, annual revenue. I'm going to go to Object Manager. Okay. I'm going to go to Account, Fields and Relationship, and I'm going to look at Annual Revenue field. See the API name? This is the API name, the field name, anything here. Like, for custom fields, it's going to be double underscore C. For standard fields, it's going to be like this. So number one is annual revenue have to be corrected. Okay, always look for API name. Always look on the Object Manager API name. Annual revenue, ID, name from account. I don't know if you made S as a spelling mistake. I'm assuming it's a spelling mistake, but it's account, not account. So, see, this works, but our requirement is I want where active is yes, at the same time, industry. Yeah, I don't know why you missed the industry. I wanted this to be and industry is equal to, in single quotes, agriculture. Okay?
Oh, I didn't check the chat window. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, this is how it should be. Same thing, Ramesh. I think you made the same mistake. I mean, you got the thing correctly. Select ID name annual revenue from account where active double underscore C is equal to yes. But again, I'm not sure if you missed the chat window too. But in the chat I put something that I want industry to be agriculture as well. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Deepti, are you writing? Asha. Select ID, name, annual revenue from account where active double underscore C, yes, and industry is agriculture. Good. I mean, I like the way you're writing, Asha. I mean, you see the name is capital, from is capital, where is capital. It's good. I like it, and is capital. It's just that active double underscore C, yes, the word yes, please make sure it's just the regular Y is capital and ES is small, okay? I know, I mean, again, you will test the query, but that's the only thing. Select ID. Oh, you see this select statement and from, it's just my habit. Okay, it's just my habit that I always type them capital. Even if you type small letters, they would all work. It's just my habit. Like whenever I'm writing a query, I write it like this. So I like it like this. Select whatever the fields that I want from which object in the where clause I have, and I write them capital. It's just my habit that I got used to. It's good that I'm seeing you guys are also following that. I don't know if it is a standard or not, but when I'm typing in Eclipse, when I do it in capital letter, it prints me in red color. It gives me a good feel. That's why I do it. Select ID, name, annual revenue from account where active double underscore C is equal to yes, and industry is equal to agriculture, Divya. It's not industry is equal to industry. I mean, the query is good. It's just the requirement was industry is equal to agriculture. Just check that. Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I just want. You know what? I want for the same thing. Ramesh. Okay. Good. Okay. For the same query, I want select ID, name, annual revenue from account where active is equal to Z. So I want all accounts where active is yes and industry is agriculture or annual revenue is greater than 10,000. So either the query that you wrote is good. I want those, or if any account that has greater than annual revenue of greater than 10,000, I want those. Like either the requirement either give me the accounts that have industry as agriculture and active is equal to yes, or annual revenue greater than 10,000. Yeah, this will be a good one. If you write this, I'll move on to another one. Okay, use your old query. That's great. I wanted an arc in either these accounts or I want accounts that have annual revenue greater than 10,000. Guys, can you paste it privately to me, please? I don't want anybody to be influenced by others, please. Select ID, annual revenue, our name from account where. Good. I like this. Niranjan, this is good. Okay, good. Vijay, are you writing this, or maybe you have to catch up with some other videos before you write this?
No. I am catching it, and I'm writing the code,
Okay.
like the query in my notepad as well as in my developer console.
Okay.
So what was the question
they
again?
are executing,
You
right?
want ID?
No, the same query, the annual revenue ID name from account where active is equal to yes and industry is equal to agriculture, the same thing. Either, like the requirement is either active is equal to yes and industry is agriculture or annual revenue is 10,000. Like either it should meet that criteria or if the annual revenue is greater than 10,000. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. So, Divya, select ID, name, annual revenue from account where active is equal to yes and industry is equal to agriculture. All right. Great. I like that. I like the way you use the braces, Divya. That's pretty good. I mean, you're separating that and condition scenarios, and even though R is one, yes, it's good you use the braces. I'm very happy with that query. Karthik. Select annual revenue ID name from account where Oh man, that's good. I mean, I thought you guys would be confused. I thought you would be doing it without a brace, like active is equal to yes and this or something. But it's good. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the result. Everybody's using the brace. Like for and you're using separately, and for or you're that's good. That's really good. Oh, I like this. Karthik, good one, Karthik. Ramesh, select ID name and all revenue from account where active is equal to yes and industry is equal to agriculture or annual revenue is 10,000. Good, Ramesh. That's good. So I'm going to take Ramesh's query here. I know it might not give any result, but we will try this to see if it's executing. You see, there has to be a space. Like I only noticed now. There has to be a space after the brace. Ramesh, did you notice this? Because let me write it. I don't know if it works. I don't think it.
But it's
work.
working. Yeah.
It's working. Good. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe my bad. It's just I'm so used to it like this, but it's working. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes. Annual revenue. Good. This is how it should be. Okay. Asha, select ID name, annual revenue from account where active is equal to yes. Oh, you made the mistake, Asha. The mistake that I was expecting from everybody. So I'm going to pick on you, okay? Maybe it's not wrong. Let me see. Where active is equal to yes and industry is equal to agriculture. You see, I would want to separate these like this.
Okay.
So you guys know BODMAS rule, right? Did you? I know people from different regions call it differently, but I studied it as BODMAS rule. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I know that. Even we follow BODMAS.
Bracket of division, multiplication, addition, something like it. So it's the order of execution, right? When you have a mathematical equation, everything that's in the braces will be executed first. Then the division, then the multiplication, then the addition, then the subtraction, right? BODMAS rule. I know some people, I heard it from some of my friends. They call it differently. So I just want to, put whatever the logic that you want to be executed, I want to put it in a brace. So you make sure that, it's executed in a way that you want. You see, select ID name. This works, right? So I'm just saying active and industries agriculture is one condition, or this is a separate condition, right?
Yes.
Like even if you write it like this, it doesn't matter, but I like using this. If you are using this is a good habit, okay?
Okay.
So like active is equal to yes, industry, and this is good.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Awesome, guys. Now, I know I said this is the last one, but I wanted to do two more queries. I want you to write a query on contact object. Okay? I want you to write a query. Same thing. Okay, let's do this. I want you to give me the name, ID, last name, first name, title. Like I want last name, first name, ID, title from contact, from all contacts, whose title is COO. Query should also display me the name and industry of the account that is associated with the contact. Yes, I typed in the requirement. Just look at it and let me know. I typed it for everybody. So I want, I want the last name, first name, ID, title from all contacts. whose title is COO, and at the same time, the query should also contain the account name and also the account industry. So account is the parent and contact is the child. So what I'm asking here is we are writing a query on the contact object, but we are also like in that query, we are trying to include the result from the account object as well. Okay, I just asked title to be COO, but it's good. I mean, I get it. The concept is good. Okay. That's good, Niranjan. I mean, the title was COO, but I think you use the title as COO. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are only looking for the accuracy of the syntax in the query, so we should be good. While this is going on, Niranjan, did you send your resume, submit your resume?
I mean, I already submitted to the Sukesh, so I didn't hear from him. I will follow up with him tomorrow.
But yeah, did I give any feedback? Nothing, right? I mean, I just made some changes, but any feedback? Did I give
No, you haven't given me any feedback, you said.
Yeah, I just made some changes myself. Like, there were some words like S controls. You know, these are like age-old things, and there are some like here and there some grammatical things. You know, when I
haven't added much of lightning, so in my resume I have just added like maybe a couple of lines saying that I have built some components, but apart from that, I didn't put much focus on lightning.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, most of the projects that you might find now are the projects that are being converted from Classic to Lightning. So highlighting your resume to tell that you have Lightning experience is good. I mean, the reason why is I know I don't want you guys to put something that you don't know, but the other concern that I have is you will be learning Lightning in like next 10 days or 15 days, or you will be practicing those things. But once the resume is out in the market, you cannot take it back, right? I mean, maybe after a year when you add a new project, probably you can say, hey, I learned Lightning in this project, and you can put it. But once it's out in the market, you cannot take it back. But, you know, that's why just look forward for next 1 month. You know, yeah, I'm going to focus more on Lightning in next 15 days or 20 days or 1 month. So let's just add that piece too as well. I think somebody sent me a resume. I think that person has like around 70 badges of Trailhead badges. So I said, you know, because just put 100 badges. Again, it's not faking it or anything. I'm just saying put 100 badges, but because you put 100 badges in the resume, make sure to reach the target in next 5 days or 10 days. So that, you know, by the time your resume is really in the market and people are considering you, you make sure you have those 100 badges in it. But if you put in 75, right, it's good. I mean, 75 is a great number. I have 50 or 60. 75 is definitely a great number. But 100 gives you that ranger rank, and it you know, when somebody's looking at that resume, it gives more impression, right? So since you know you can finish those other 25 badges in next 5 days, 10 days, I asked them, let's just put that, highlight that ranger, because for a ranger, Salesforce gives you some kind of symbol, right, that you can put in your resume. it gives, okay, this person not only has couple certifications, but this person has a ranger trailhead badge. Good. This person, it doesn't matter what kind of experience, this person knows what they're doing. At least they practice something. That's the major impression that they
I don't want to oversell myself. If we oversell, I mean, to be frank, we won't be able to reach that expectations, and then
No, I'm not. Okay, let me just stop the recording for a second. Okay, sorry guys. I'm back on the recording. I'm recording it. Divya. Select first name, last name, account.name, account.industry from contact with title is equal to CO. Great. Guys, only 2 people responded to me. Are you guys facing any difficulty? Select ID. Oh, hold on. Okay, Ramesh, you made a mistake, so I'm gonna pick on you. I'm gonna take the one that is correct, and I want to show the difference between those 2. See, Ramesh, here is the thing. I think the major difference is which is the parent. Account is the parent, right? So this is the correct one, and this is what you have. So I just want you to observe the difference here. See, we are traveling from child. Contact is a child and account is the parent. So in case of custom object, while writing the validation rules also, we use _R notation. So here we are using account.name, account.industry. So we are using a dot notation to be able to go to the parent. This concept of subquery comes when you're writing a query on account but want to get contacts. Like there is upward and downward journey. For upward journey, this is the case. So from contact, from child, you are traveling to parent. Okay? This is a good example. This is the right way of doing an upward query. From child object, you are trying to get the value of the parent. Now, this kind of syntax you will use when you are writing a downward query. That means you are writing a query on the account and trying to get contacts on the child. Okay. Again, it comes with practice. I want you to, again, this recording is available and, these would be recorded. So I want you to go back and just try to write some queries, okay, on both ways. Karthik, first name, title, ID. Select first name, last name, ID, title, account.id, account.industry, where title is equal to CO, DP, contact. First name, contact the first name, ID, contact. Oh, no. No, this is. Guys, please don't mind if I'm picking, it's better we make mistakes here. Yeah. So, you see, we are writing on contact object, right? See, there is no need to be like contact.first name or contact.last name. So we are writing, you see, this is your query. We are writing the query on contact. So because we are writing the query on contact, we don't have to mention anything. It's just like select last name, first name, ID from contact. Okay. All I'm asking is print the account name. Print the account name and account industry. So it should be account dot industry. Okay, from contact where title is equal to CO. This is the right syntax. Okay. Again, just I know. We cannot perfect everything right now, but I want you to do little things like practice a little bit more on writing a simple query, just like the order. Like write a simple query on account, write a simple query on contact, write some where clause, and then try to write some travel from child to parent. Guys, right now I'm asking you guys to write queries simply from contact and account, but I want you guys to write your own queries on employee salary, because those are custom objects. Instead of just the dot notation, we would use this _R notation. Like, for traveling to parent, you will use this _R dot industry, _R dot name. Okay. I want you to practice few examples there too. Okay. So Deepti, I want you to correct this. Okay. This is your query should look like this. Not like this. I'm going to take this off. It should look like this. Okay. Okay. One last query for the exercise. Okay, for today. One last query. I want the other way around. I want, just say, I want accounts and all its contact. Like I want name, ID, industry. ID, name, industry from accounts. Like I want ID, name, industry from all accounts whose revenue is greater than 50,000, and also the contact, last name, first name, email, where title is equal to CEO. This is a little bit complex. Okay. I want ID, name, industry from all accounts whose revenue is greater than 50,000, and also the associated. I didn't type in, and also the associated contacts last name, because accounts, right? Every account will be associated with contacts, but I don't want all the contacts. Even within the contacts, I only want the contacts with the title as CEO. Like technically, I'm just saying, give me the account information and also the associated contact information where the title is CEO. You can write it both ways, but I want you guys to write the query on account object. Like write the query on account object and travel downwards. Sorry, you have it already. So ID, name, industry, comma, good. Select ID, name, first name, last name, email from contacts where title is equal to zero, from account where annual revenue. Good. This is good. I just want to be great. This is good. I don't want you to see guys. It's good, Niranjan. When someone writes it correctly, at least I understand, okay, I asked the question in a correct way. Anybody? Okay, Vijay, I have yours. ID, name, industry, first name, last name, from account. Oh, no, Vijay. This is not what we asked for. I'm going to paste the right one here, like a right query here, so you understand the difference, okay? So this is the correct query. Okay. So this is the correct query that should be, that's what I'm asking for. So, and one thing, I mean, I'm more concerned about one major thing. See, this annual revenue is a decimal field. I think it's a decimal field. So this single quote is only used for string values. Okay. So whenever you're writing, you see title. I mean, again, there is no field called title on account. So this doesn't come into picture. But for title, like for strings, if you are putting a single quote, yes, great. But for things like annual revenue, which is not a text field, and you see you're also doing a less than. That means you clearly know that this is a currency field or a decimal or an integer field. You need not to use single quote. Okay, and this is the right way. I mean, I just want you to understand the difference. Okay. Select ID, Ramesh. Select ID name, industry from account where annual revenue is referenced. And select last. No. Ramesh, I don't think. See, each account can have multiple contacts, right? See, the subquery is telling us, like, okay, we are querying on account. You see, this is how my representation is. I'm saying this is the account, and in this account, I'm only, for this account, I'm getting all the contacts where the title is CO. So these are all the people, contact records that have the title of CO under this account. So I'm even same thing, like this is the account, these are all the accounts that have an annual revenue of 50,000, less than annual revenue of greater than 50,000. And at the same time, we are using the same query to be able to return the contacts associated with it too. Okay. So it's a downward query. Okay. I understand this. See, this downward query is not very commonly used. I mean, we don't very often use it, and even the experienced people get, confused with that, when to use and when not to use and stuff. But again, I wanted to show you this and have them recorded in the session so that you can always go back and practice more. Like I mentioned, follow the theory. Just blindly write them. Blindly write the same query 3 or 4 times, and you will get it. Like, you will automatically get it. Okay. So I'm gonna see DT. Select last name, first name, account dot name. Select ID, account. No, DT. See, this subquery. Okay, I'm gonna show you something here. This subquery is only used to, like, you see this piece is only used to query the child records belonging to it. Okay? So account the relationship between account and account. One account can have multiple contacts. So this subquery is used to query only the child records associated with the parent. Now you see, for you have last name, first name from contacts. No. Okay, hold on. Select ID, name, industry from account where annual revenue is greater than 50,000. That piece is. Oh, sorry, that's some other. I'm copying this query here just to make sure I look at it correctly. This is your query. You see, we are here. Like, there is no object called from contact. Even if you are writing a query on and an object, there is no object called contacts, right? It should be from contact or from account. Okay. So our requirement was to, you see, on contact. Even if you assume you were writing on contact, there is no field called annual revenue on contact, right? So it should be account like this. Here we are saying it should be account and select last name, first name. Okay, it's fine. We cannot have account.name. I mean, see, these fields are not even there. It should be ID, comma, name, comma, select ID. Oh, no. It should be the subquery should be like this. Okay, I'm going to give you the ideal one. I'm going to paste the right one here in the chat. I want you to take a look at it and, try to understand the difference. Okay, so Karthik, select ID, industry, common name, select ID, first name, last name, email from contacts where title is equal CO from account where yeah, that's good. Yeah, I sent the correct one. So please look at that. Look at the correct one that I gave, and just make sure, try to compare it with what you have versus what's the right one, and see if there is anything. Again, please practice it, and if you have question, please come prepared tomorrow with the question, and so I can talk about it. Okay. And I'm going to stop the recording for some time.